The Dreamer by Nicole, Abbey, Chapter 10. Notes. In retrospect, circumstances inevitable, fulfillment of calling imminent and inexorable. You! I cried in horror. The beautiful Duke was not in ropes. He was untouched, no bruises or cuts where he would have been abused. He stood tall and straight and unmolested, and his beautiful lips curled, smiling at me. I thought I saw a hint of pleasure and satisfaction behind his eyes at my reaction. "Mademoiselle Madeira," he said musically, "we meet again." Impossible! I was stupefied and simply blinked at him for some moments. Surely it wasn't he standing here in this horrible place, cool and collected. No, it was impossible. My education and training swiftly came to my rescue, and I collected my senses, and I spat. The honorable Duke, whom everyone adores, at last, we've uncovered the secret to his success. He laughed a beautiful sound. Chérie! Anger surged. Throwing my head back emphatically, I declared, "Well, I've got news for you. I will never cooperate. Do you hear me? Never. Do what you will. Give me your worst. Torture me if you like, and I'll talk, but you can never be sure if it is the truth. You haven't an inkling of the vastness of my knowledge, and I'm very convincing." This stopped his laughter immediately. His eyes focused and aware, like he just realized he'd been misunderstanding me, and therefore must figure me out anew. "Petit, you misunderstand," he began, his accent suddenly thick. But then his eyes fell on the ropes around my feet and hands. "Mon Dieu!" he cried, and bent to untie them. This, I admit, momentarily perplexed me. "You think you are a prisoner here?" he asked, his voice concerned. When he finished untying the knots, he gently rubbed my raw wrists. He called for some ointment, and it was brought to us immediately. He aggressively questioned the man who brought it, but it was in French, the words too fast and accented for me to understand. The man answered back, holding out his hands in supplication, saying in French, "An order! An order!" The Duke slapped him with an open palm and sent him away. The man left with a dark, hating look at the Duke. I covered up my confusion with vehemence. I shook my head. "You don't fool me," I cried forcibly. "One doesn't bash one's guests over the head and tie them in lieu of an invitation." "Bash over the head? Do you mean, Chérie, that you were bludgeoned?" Gentle fingers examined my wound. He dropped his face in his hands and cursed. "I blame myself. It serves me right. I ought to have known my orders would be misconstrued. After all, we are dealing with pirates, n'est-ce pas?" "Yes, pirates," I said, looking at him levelly. He stepped back in astonishment. "Miss Madeira, you don't think I—" He crouched down next to me, a humble move that didn't fit him. "I am innocent, chérie. Surely you are too wise, too clear-sighted to really believe I would ever try to hurt you." His beautiful face was raised, his clear eyes pleading with me. Doubt gripped me. "You are a villain!" I cried wildly. He looked at me with hurtful reproach. "Chérie," he said gently. He touched my hand. "I have done wrong. I have aligned myself with villains, it is true. You are right to disbelieve. You are right to abhor. It is wise, and I admire you for your strength, but can you not sympathize, enfant?" he beseeched. "You have no interest at all in the treasure? You do not wish to unearth it, to see it, to touch it? Can you not excuse my alliance with evil to bring about the greater good?" "No, well, not like this." "But you are free now. You will never be hurt again. Tell me you believe me." There was silence. His face was tortured and pleading as I watched him. "My dear?" he asked. "My head still hurts," I answered quietly, "and I haven't had any dinner." He threw his head back and laughed inordinately at my words. I didn't consider that they'd been very funny, but a faint, reluctant smile touched my lips. He said, "Then we shall dine together tonight after all." I glared at him over the dinner table. "So that's why you invited me to dine with you tonight?" "Mon non, chérie," he cried, affronted. "It is true I needed you for the information you possessed, but how delighted I was when I found you! How utterly you charmed me!" I clenched my jaw shut and stared at my plate mutinously. "And then when I didn't cooperate, you had me kidnapped?" "Mon non! I have already explained. I asked them to keep an eye on you and to persuade you, if they could, to come and join us. It is the truth." I was silent and thoughtful. "Is there nothing I can say? Nothing I could do to make you believe me? Try to understand," he coaxed. "I am a logical creature, chérie, a creature of reason as well. What is the word? Grit. I know that the truth is worth any cost, and I have the strength to pay the price. Can you try to understand and forgive?" I felt my heart weaken. It was worth any cost. I knew. The ambit of my sacrifice was testimony to his statement. How many people would have done the same, given up their home, their job, their very life in pursuit of the truth as I have done? I buoyed up my resistance. I shook my head. "Are you trying to convince me that you're motivated by truth?" "Do you think I need the money?" he countered. "Surely you're going to keep the treasure." "No, bien sûr. It belongs to the world." "The world? It may interest you to know, Duke, that I am not a stupid person," I replied severely. His blue eyes glinted. "My dearest child, neither am I." "A bunch of pirates are kidnapping and torturing for the sake of altruism?" I asked. "No, they think they are going to get a share, bien sûr." I picked up a chunk of bread and took a bite, contemplating his words. "How did you get involved, anyway?" I asked crossly. "I thought you were capturing pirates, not leading them." "I do capture pirates. I do my best to rid the seas of these vermin. However, when I was closing in on this looper, he sent me a message I simply could not refuse. One might call it a bribe, if they didn't know me well." "He told you about the map?" I said. The Duke nodded. "And you're determined to carry your civic duty out to the bitter end? So you team up with cutthroats and outlaws?" He laughed again, but more subtly, his eyes never leaving my face. "I can be far more dangerous," he murmured. I quieted, believing him. I looked down and took a drink, watching the swirling liquid. Almost at the very moment that the map can be unlocked, you get involved, I contemplated. "Chance," he answered in French with an unabashed smile. "Yes," I said, "very lucky. The pirates acquire a new backer, a man with ambition and connections at the exact right moment." "It was all meant to be, you see." "Why do you say it like that?" I demanded. "Well, don't you believe in fate?" he asked curiously. "I do." I chewed on my lip. He seemed to feel me wavering. He reached out, gripped my hand, and eagerly leaned forward. "The pirates do not know what I plan to do. They think we shall get the treasure and keep it, but I have my connections and I have my plans. Once the treasure is unearthed, I will have them arrested and donate it to Le Louvre for all to enjoy. Do not worry. You do not do wrong to help me in this. I could not do it on my own, you see. I needed their help, and I've got it. But I need your help too. Will you help me, ma belle érudite? My beautiful scholar." His grip tightened, anxious for my answer. Hadn't I said it was my mission, my calling? What had I sacrificed to get here? My reputation, my career, my entire existence as I knew it. The captain had completely refused to help me. I couldn't do it alone. I nodded. His face broke into a relieved, beaming smile. He leaned forward and kissed my cheek. I leaned back and frowned. The captain would never have done that.